No, I got to leave in.
Happy Monday, everybody. What's going on, Jasmine, Danny, Antonio? Asia cannot be here today for something that may be great if not, but I'm gonna miss my girl Asia. She'll be here next week. We're here to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. But first, how was everybody's weekend? I think it was a good weekend overall, just in general. It was WrestleMania. Jasmine and Asia was together kicking. I thought that just made me so happy. I think I saw Asia with Jamie too, right?
I suppose.
It was a good weekend. So Antonio and Danny, how was y'all weekend? I'm gonna leave you, Jasmine. How was y'all weekend?
Yeah, my weekend was chill, laid low. Nothing major.
You laid it low or you laid low?
Let it wide.
You spread you laid it on spread wide.
Ooh,
Okay.
let's send me
Everything.
Danny, how about you? I like that shirt.
Thank you. I was in bed recovering. I came back from LA with no sleep and all that. Like I was sick when I got back.
Well, you still was recovering from the weekend that we had last week.
Yes. But
Oh.
Damn, you woke him out.
I think I got like 3 hours of sleep the whole time I was there.
And look at you all refreshed. Okay, then.
And Jasmine, how was your weekend? How was it being Asia? I saw your little time after the OGs. I said, look at them, like the girls getting together. Y'all were the two first original girls, women on this platform. So how did that feel to meet finally after almost 5 years?
Yes. I mean, I really wish that I could have went on the cabin trip and met everyone at the same time. But, me and Asia, we started together and through the bumpy road. No, just kidding. I love Asia. And it was just really good to meet each other. We have a really good vibe together and we turned up. It was a really good time.
I saw y'all. I wanted to come. Well, I was turning up too, but I wanted to come out there with y'all.
Me and Cortez, we haven't hung out in so long. We still.
I'm gonna come to Dallas soon. We're gonna make up for it. Trust me.
Okay.
Kevin, my bad. It's my Monday. Sheesh. Okay. Yesterday was a rough day for me. Okay. And that's why we're here today. So I thank everybody for being able to accommodate. It was crazy. But we're here to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Like I said, nice weekend, good fun weekend. Glad to be here. Glad to see you all to join us on a Tuesday. We usually have on Monday, but we're here. And then Chase said I was the first woman. Okay, Chase. Well, I guess Chase was the first woman if he says if that's what he feels. Like Chris said,
because at the end of the day,
okay, the day got it. At the end of the day is nighttime. So yeah,
I had the liberty this weekend to actually sit down and have a conversation with my friend Candace, and I had a good time. That is at this moment. That's why I'm glad this season is ending because despite people what they may feel, it's been a boring season. These episodes have been the most entertaining, but sitting down with her having a conversation put me at more ease. They're like, you know what? It's just TV because that's exactly what I got from the conversation. So with that being said, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody watching right now. I see Taylor in here, one of my faves, Kyra, Amanda, Chase, Dream, Kevin, Art World. If you're in here, let us know where you're watching from and what's going on. And I want to make a quick comment to everybody that watches. We love that y'all are watching because we love y'all support. But in these after show comments, we see y'all comments, whether they're positive. If they're positive, you know what? We love that. If they're negative, we don't care. And I would advise you to, keep it cute because at this moment, I have y'all don't have to be scared of us in any kind of way, but I'm letting everyone on this panel just say what they got to say because clearly some people are just so disrespectful. So it's time we get back disrespectful too, because we on national television, so it don't matter.
Because I'm gonna say what I got to say, and I'm gonna wear you down. I'm riding low.
But of course, for those that are watching us and are respectful and appreciate that this is also for entertainment, we love y'all and we hope y'all keep watching. And for anyone else, if you like us or not, you already watched the video, so thanks.
Thank you. And then you keep commenting, so you're just keeping us in the algorithm. So whatever, honey.
Yeah, that's right, Trey. Keep it cute or put it, just keep it cute. How about that? All right, y'all. So this part 2 of the reunion was actually pretty entertaining. There was a lot that happened, so we'll try to make sure we get through it as fast as we can so we can get in and get out. Next week's show probably will be it's going to be back on Monday, and the time is usually 8:30 Eastern, but I kind of like, getting in and getting out. I have the little flexibility at work, and if you guys are flexible, we may do that. So we'll know by next week, but we'll be back on Monday next week, not Tuesday. Okay. All right. So at the end of last week's part one of the reunion, Wendy posed a question about Ink, thinking that is it Jeremiah? Is that his name? Her son?
Mm-hmm.
His son
Yeah.
was not that Ink believed that that was his son, and so we pick up in this week. Honestly, Mia says she doesn't know why Ink thinks that, and honestly, my first thing came across my mind was that, well, then why aren't you correcting that? Because you're now actively with this person. You would think that this would kind of bother her, because in the thing she said, that's not fair when G said it. So it doesn't seem like it's bothering her. And I would hope that she would correct that, if they decide to be with each other, if she's firmly believes that that is her son, because that's just weird energy to me. But Karen, like the true moderator that she has been on this stage, she wants to move forward, and even Andy's like, okay, because it's like, and I love that, because
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it, it's uncomfortable to see. I mean, their kids are going to see all this stuff. I'm sure Giselle's kids be looking like, child, what is my mama doing? But at the end of the day, no one wants to be on television and there's a debate about whether or not this is their parents. I think that's just kind of low. So I'm glad she did that. They cared about her calling Mia a hoe. And she talks about a comment which she was prompted asked a question, and she says, well, it takes a hoe to know a hoe, which kind of, basically says she did call me a hoe, but not, in her own way. She was asked a question. And so then they turned to Mia about them not looking to have problems, because if you watch this season, you wouldn't have known. You would have thought they had a few problems, but not that they were going through separation and things like that. So he asked her that question. And Giselle and Robyn had their own questions, basically asking her, well, is it because, Ink is more financially stable and he's not? And then Robyn chimes in and was like, well, no, Giselle. Maybe it's about the age. Maybe because he's just getting too old. And I'm just like, I said to myself, Mia, get ready, girl. Because well, not for Robyn, because she gone, but get ready, because the questions that they're asking, they got their little podcast on the side. They think they bloggers and all these things. They think they got it all together. If they're asking questions like this now, next season, these are the questions you're gonna hear. And I truly believe that if they don't completely revamp this cast, Mia is going to be the topic of discussion next season. I think it's her turn.
Yeah. Mia and Karen for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And so Mia says it wasn't about either of those things. She said that it was about him being controlling and her just being unhappy, and says that she's now helping him financially. She talks to how about her inheritance and versus marrying him for money, because that was a good question. She says that three of her grandparents passed in a period of time, and so she came up on some money from that. She says that G was basically overextending himself when they were getting married, and so that, battling with bankruptcy. So seems like there was already money issues anyway. Maybe, from when they got married up until the situation happened with his family. Then we find out about the landlord suing them and things like that. And so then they pose a question to Candace and Wendy about not dropping hints to Mia about all the things that G was saying. So if you were watching us last year when we broke the story, we said that specifically that he was going around talking to anybody who would listen. In this case, it seems like he was talking to all the husbands. We find out that Karen got a phone call. He was calling whoever. I don't know if did Giselle say she got a call? I don't know if she mentioned it.
She didn't.
Smart
she
man.
did say they didn't show it, but yeah.
Whatever condition he may or may not have, he clearly ain't that far gone, because he didn't call Giselle, and that is so smart. Had he called Giselle,
I'm sorry,
she might have got the heads up or the call or whatever it was that they was expected from Candace and Wendy. And so Wendy says that he was dragging her, like what we reported in our report. And that she basically lucky that at the place they left last season that she didn't throw it back in her face or use it for Mayday. Candace says she didn't want to get involved, and so this is when we find out that Karen said that he called her, and but we do find out that Karen did check on Mia despite that. their relationship. Mia says that she does not really consider Candace and Wendy friends. And so they kind of go into a conversation about ink and whose ink fave is. Ink's fave is Wendy. I mean, rightfully so. She's a beautiful woman. And we know Mia love her some Wendy. So I mean, why not align with your man, right? And so to wrap this scene off, we know that her and Jacqueline are okay. And Robyn wants clarity on their living situation. Ashley got jokes about it as well. And I just put, y'all need to shut the hell up. So, Antonio, I will start with you. What are your thoughts on all things Mia, Gordon, Candace and Wendy supporting her, not supporting her, whatever she felt, and Robyn and Ashley's questions about her living situation, although we don't really know theirs.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
Starting kind of, I'm gonna try to remember and kind
Go
of
ahead.
get
My
on
bad.
point
It's a
quick
lot.
as possible. So with in regards to the little boy, I'm glad that Karen stepped in and said, you know, what she said. To me, looking at the little boy, to me, it's like the little boy and the little girl look exactly
Uh-oh.
like. I think we said that. Like, can you hear me?
It's like an echo at some point.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you sound fine. Just go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I was like, the little boy and the little girl to me look exactly alike. So whoever the dad is for one, the dad got to be for the other. You know. One thing that I do love about Mia is that no matter what question comes at her, she's gonna answer the question. Now, whether she's telling the truth or not, we don't know. But she is going to answer the question and be, I guess, what we truthful in our eyes, because we don't know, you know, if she's lying about certain stuff. But I am glad that, you know, Karen kind of stepped in and did it. That Mia acting like she wasn't sure why Ink would say that was, you know, a bit confusing at that time, though, because you also said, you know, there was a little bit of overlapping, or you slept with him around that time as well. So, you know, so I definitely, you know, get why he could possibly think that. But looking at the little boy, no. In regards to Karen calling her, Karen just be saying stuff and be kind of forgetting and try to dig herself out the hole. That, you know, Karen said, I didn't call you a hoe, but then she said, but I mean, I did call you a hoe. That was
Absolutely.
You definitely called her home. I think what she was trying to say was it wasn't unwarranted. It was something that she was asked.
Somebody asked. Yeah, she didn't just call me a hoe.
Yeah.
Unprovoked. I mean, or just unsolicited. So I get it. Wendy, I get why Wendy and Candace didn't say anything. Me even being in that situation, like I hate that they use the term friend so loose. Like, just because we are are co-workers and we on this show together, we clearly know that all of them aren't, you know, friends like that. And me, at the end of the last reunion, you were saying that Mia on the last reunion, you were saying that Wendy was, you know, messing around with Pt.2 and you had video of it and stuff like that. So it's kind of like understandable why she wouldn't just come to you. I also don't know that I would, you know, because those women have kind of really went there with one another. I don't know if I was in that place with someone, if I would just reach out to them if they were having, you know, marital issues. Possibly if somebody did pass, maybe. But as far as like that type of stuff, or the spouse sending a text message talking about them, I don't know if I had reached out. But I do like how, you know, Wendy rebounded and was like, listen. And I do think Wendy and Candace both genuinely like Mia, but they just, I don't think that they've had the opportunity to really get on just a good foot and stay on a good foot with her. But I do think they like Mia, and Wendy said it's like got to be some type of love and support there, because she, like she said, she could have got her lick back had she wanted it, because the stuff was right there in her lap, but she did not do that. So I appreciate, you know, the stance that they had on that, and I would look forward to like a little Mia Wendy combo next season. So hopefully they do go on a little double date and all of that. I'll be looking forward to it. Ashley, every time they show her, that baby doll wig that she got sitting on top of her head, that's so tangled and matted, I hate it. I hate it. She looks stupid. She can't even pay for her house, so she shouldn't worry about where Mia living. We know Mia ain't living over there with her, and in that hood home that she said she paid $2 million for. And Robyn, Yeah, sure, Jan. And and Robyn has a lot of questions for someone who was scared to open her mouth to her unemployed husband the whole season. But now she has so many questions for everyone else about what they're doing and their finances and their relationship and where they living at. Like, don't be confused. Just focus on you and what you got going on, because you are clearly the confused one.
Okay.
That's it.
Danny, you want to go? You want me to Jazz? I feel like Jazz gonna
I don't care.
go, Danny. Go ahead. We don't.
I agree with pretty much everything Antonio said. I did see a comment in there that said, didn't Mia get like IVF, IU something, DUI, whatever?
Oh, IEIOU, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure they would have known she was pregnant before they did any of that. So I'm pretty sure the baby's Gordon's.
Yeah.
And I'm glad Wendy didn't say nothing to Mia, because it would have been, if they would have said Wendy was being nosy, Wendy is the one who called Gordon to do all this. Robyn and Giselle would have put that in Mia's mind, and Mia would have been dumb enough to run with it and believe it. And then, to take what Antonio said a step further, Robyn do got a lot of nerve asking questions. Not only does she not ask one nothing, but she keeps their recent stuff a secret. So how do you feel comfortable opening your mouth to ask people stuff that you don't willingly share on the show? So that's all I really got. Everything else, I feel like I don't want to repeat everything Antonio said.
Jazz?
First of all, at the end of the day got to end. But outside of that, Robyn really has a lot of nerve. And it's not even just this topic, it's every, subsequent topic after the fact. That chopped cheese, Bob, there's no way. There's just literally no way that Robyn has all this gas for everybody outside of Juan. And that's really, Giselle and Robyn really are the ones that really, really put a lot of fire in my heart today. But, I mean, I'm liking Mia. Please.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Don't get in the comments and get beat up. But I really am liking Mia. And it's something about her that's like unapologetic. Even she is a liar. You know what I'm saying? She do be lying. But at the same time, like, I don't think that comparing Robyn to Mia was really just fair, because Mia is very transparent, way more, even if it might not always be the truth, but even way more than Robyn has been in the last 8 years she's been on the show.
Yeah.
That is for these kids. They look just like him. The eyebrows, they're beautiful kids, but I mean, shit. But at the very end of the day, like, when it comes down to this, I think Mia tells a lot of truth about this Gordon situation, but I also think that she's gassed because she's first chair right now. And I'm not saying that this is what her thought was, but I'm saying, like, everything that's come outside of or come after she's done the ink thing and posted him and all these things, she's made it to where I think she wants to be. And I don't actually think that there's anything wrong with that. Now, I do wish that she would tell the truth a little bit more, or a lot more. But Giselle and Robyn's comment after that, oh, is it because he ain't got no money, or is it because he, oh, bitch. I'm sorry. Your wig looks like
chopped cheese.
Chopped cheese. Thank you. That's all I have to say. I just wish, I mean, Mia is Mia. You're either going to love her or hate her. She's one of the people that you're going to either befriend, or you're just going to be like, you lie too much. You just lie too much. But I don't think that this was like I've been saying, I also want to say, I've been saying since the beginning that they should stop talking about Mia's child. I think regardless if it's the truth or not or whatever, I do think that, like Cameron said, I don't know how old he is, but he's old enough to pick up the TV remote and turn it on. And that goes for everybody's kids, including Ashley's. They're gonna grow up and be able to see all this. So I just feel like, I think that I'm for what Cameron said about just killing the conversation with it, because that's just not right, So kids are cruel. But Robyn's wig is ugly, and so is Giselle's neck. Thank you. Next question.
I saw that post that Sammy posted on Twitter with
It was bad. It was
but
bad.
you know what? Like honestly, that's all I keep look. Every time I look when they go to Giselle, I look right there. I'm not even. I just cannot.
It's
Stop
just
looking.
like she had
I
a
wish
face
I could
still,
stop putting it
but
right there.
The hate and evilness just
It's just
bulging there already.
like
it's like don't get your top teeth done and not your bottom. And I think that's what I feel like.
Well, no, she ain't got the top done either. Because the lips around the area doing the same thing. But I guess we all gonna be talked about like you and Asia last week, because baby, we almost got a complex too with talking about Robyn and Giselle. We almost got
What's crazy? I
Y'all know I'm
sent
jealous.
that picture.
the picture the Sammy posted.
Yeah, with that neck
That's
balled
it's
up
just
like
it's all I see on. If they just put that picture up when Giselle talked, I feel like that's what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing.
You know
anything.
what? Andy needs to put that picture up on a Watch What Happens Live. Says, "Who is this?" Just the neck.
It should be next to Candace's words, not to their neck. Not to their neck, and then we show the picture. That's what it should be. Because I mean, that's where they came from.
Hey,
So,
Giselle's a beautiful woman. I'm saying it one time. That's the first time.
Yeah, all right.
Her neck drags to her kneecaps. I don't give a.
Listen, you're not, if your name is Breezy, girl, get the hell on. Because don't. I'm just saying it for you, okay? And you know who I'm talking about.
She won't be able to come on next time.
Child,
well, she needs to call in, honey. You know, I'm gonna tell you what ain't no kill.
What I love about this show specifically, like we have people that have been watching us when we first started doing this, which was in season 5 when we started recapping on this. And so if you've seen us from then to now, and that's, I mean, of course, not everybody. Some people are new, but we have like went up and down with these casts. Like we didn't always dislike. Well, I ain't gonna say we, but I didn't always dislike Giselle as much as I do now. And same with Robyn. They were a little more tolerable. And so, you know, you grow, you go down with these people, and at this moment within this season, what we've seen, this is how we feel, and it ain't changing.
Yeah, and I didn't like Candace initially.
That's true. I mean, listen. I've always been Candace fan, but I will. We can say Antonio and Danny were like, nope, not no Candace fan, and so that's why it's so funny. You see the growth because when the person said last week, is this a Candace stand page? I'm like, baby, you must have not been watching. We had a new here.
You must be new.
We had a super lean back, and during that season, it was chaotic. It was all 9 panelists of the time, and there were only 3 Candace supporters, and the other 6 were against Candace.
And I was
only 3.
And usually it takes a lot for me to change my mind. That's why I really like Mia right now, because I was
same. You gotta know how we felt about Mia. Like
we all didn't see it for her.
No, but I you know what?
A lot more truth. Since I've been doing this show, it's only been 3 that has stayed the same. Can't stand Robyn and Giselle. Love Karen. That's stayed the same for me.
I like Karen too.
Yeah,
but it always gave brown paper bag. Never mind.
All right, so let's move on. So in the next scene, this is actually about Giselle, who is, you know, Jasmine, I couldn't even get it out. And so this is about Giselle's, I guess she kind of had a storyline this season. It was her daughter going to college, the fake relationship with that man that she could barely answer questions about. And then, of course, her father passed. May he rest in peace. And so, you know, they kind of go down, you know, a whole montage of all of that. And basically, she stops the moment and clarifies that she did not know that Wendy's mom was in the hospital. So it becomes this back and forth because basically Wendy was saying that the reason why it was an issue is because she said, you said you talked to Jamal and my mother is evil. And Wendy said this is while she was in the hospital. So she was like, she wouldn't tolerate any kind of disrespect. But Giselle is saying she didn't know that, you know. So I want to ask y'all, do y'all feel like Giselle was cleared in that moment, or do you think that there was a lie, or is Wendy willing her right for feeling the way she felt? Because that's basically why she felt like she wouldn't support her when that passed. Go ahead, Daddy. Go ahead.
She wasn't clear to me because you don't talk to me, you don't acknowledge me, you ignore me. So why in the hell are you saying anything about mother, whether she's in the hospital or not? So listen, Wendy's a lot better than me because I would have told Giselle F you and something else. And somebody else. So
not charisma, nerve and talent. No, just kidding.
But
nerve and talent.
yeah, you shouldn't be talking about my mother, period.
Yeah.
So, and Wendy didn't say it wrong. Wendy said, I wish her well from afar. Wendy still said, I wish her well. I mean, she reach out to her for what? So Giselle's ego, because all they would have done was stroke Giselle's ego. Giselle still wouldn't have replied, still would have ignored her and said, look at her still begging to be my friend. Girl, go ahead on.
I mean, this is the reality of it all. Like, this is reality TV, and this is the reality that happens in real life. Just because, terrible things happen in your life does not mean that your enemy or anybody whatever is going to support you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just this platform. I hate that they try to make it seem that way. It should never just make people come together. When it's not authentic. Like, you can't just expect people that don't really like each other to come together at the hands of something bad. Like, that's just not the real. And I think what she did was okay. If she would do anything else, she would have been called fake. And they already said Wendy fake. So I think she finally kind of showed y'all maybe she ain't that fake. Because always they think she is. I don't know. That's not my story. But I see Twitter posts and things like that. So this is what the Wendy haters, they feel like she's fake. So but I think she did okay in this moment. So after that, she talks about her celebration, her dad's celebration of life. Robyn went. I mean, I didn't expect her not to be there.
Yes, right.
And how he was supportive of her. The only person that was supportive of her being on the show. Candace gets emotional, and Andy asks her, he's trying to get it out. Before he can get it out, Mia's like, child, she cries whenever the wind blows left, and Giselle was like, it's not about her. And so, it's crazy because last week we was just like, if Candace were to laugh at the situation, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And I think people say that was an awful, horrible thought, but child, no, it's real. But she didn't. She was actually emotional. And even then, this moment, it was kind of brushed off as, she's faking. Last week, yes, I y'all know how I felt last week. I was like, it was a bit too much. I didn't feel like it was as needed for her to do it last. But this moment, she cried. I didn't see anything wrong with that. But did y'all have any thoughts on seeing that? How y'all felt about it? Whether or not it was, I think I even saw like somebody on Twitter, maybe even Chase was like that. It was like very rude. Kind of be like, dang, because everybody was kind of being emotional. So I guess
right.
It just looked like, dang, she can't do shit. I don't know.
Exactly.
Ashley was crying. Karen grabbed tissue. Like it. Anytime I think if you were with a group of people, even if y'all aren't getting along, if somebody's talking about their parents in that light, it makes you think about your parents, especially when you are a certain age and you know that your mom or your dad, even if they're still alive, that that they're getting older, and that's something that's gonna happen, eventually. So though when Candace, was, I think that was genuine because her and Giselle didn't always dislike each other. They were good friends or co-workers or whatever you want to call it up until a year or two ago. So they were pretty good. So when Giselle did that, it was just like, she is just a nasty woman. She does not have the capacity to even try to move forward, with this situation, even though it seemed like to me Candace as well as Wendy kind of made a conscious decision, like, I'm not going to do a lot of bantering back and forth. I'm going to, try to talk things out, so on and so forth. Giselle just wasn't with it. And I thought when she did that, it was like, okay, so you are really just you're not playing for TV. You are really a nasty individual in your real everyday life. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to her dad, and congratulations to them kids, that, when they college and getting away from her in that damn playhouse.
Not the Sam's Castle. Oh my Lord. I do want to say that I cannot stand Giselle, but as a person who has lost a parent, it made me a little emotional. You know what I'm saying? Because, especially her saying, oh, when God was giving our dads, he gave me the best one. You know what I'm saying? That means, that there was a lot of love there. You could see even Ashley, not even Ashley. You could see that Ashley, is emotional because we all know what happened when it came down to her dad and stuff like that. So everybody's getting emotional, but when it comes to Candace, the line is always moving. It's just always different for her. But like I just said, I can still not feel a thing about Giselle, but still can hear that story and be like, you know what, I could tell this is real. But I just feel like when it comes to Candace, she's damned if she do, she's damned if she don't. She could have sent her some flowers. Like, you sent me flowers, but you still act like a fake bitch. Or, it could have been any. Giselle could use anything. But Giselle is nasty. Giselle is a beautiful woman. I said it twice. Please. Giselle is a beautiful woman, and her looks are fading. I took it away. And I feel like there's all the jealousy that people are saying that Candace and Wendy have towards her is really the other way around. I do want to just touch one more thing about Wendy's mom and things like that, because it doesn't matter if you know they're in the hospital or not. Why are you talking about people's mom?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. Like you literally talking. I called Jamal, a man who does not even accept your calls for real. He accepted probably Malaysia's call or allegedly anybody's call outside of Giselle's. But you're talking about, I called Giselle. I called Jamal. He said, believe in this wicked. It was just too much. And the fact that she's standing on this reunion, wanting Candace and Wendy and everybody else to hold accountability, and she doesn't see any for herself. It's why Giselle is always going to lose her men to Grace. So Jason and Grace, I think they're a cute couple. So
I mean, talked about Wendy's mama and Wendy's mama's still here.
I mean, shit.
I just think it's kind of crazy to talk about anybody's parents and yours were to pass. I mean, it's just like, that's just a lot, you have to watch what you say. This is go back to,
Really do.
Heavenly and her mama jokes and stuff like that. How there used to be, I used to be thoroughly entertained, but if something it did actually. So it's just, you just gotta be careful with stuff like that. And so
Can I say one more thing though? Can I say one more thing? Mm-hmm. I really, and this might just be a personal thing, but when my mother passed away, that's when people started seeing it the most. Like, your mama, or that's what I felt like, because it is such a sore spot. Yeah. That's the first place people will go. And you just have to have a tough skin about it. And you just got to be like, okay, whatever. You're just doing that because of XYZ or whatever. But to me, that's where it's, or
they're just trying to hurt you. They're trying to cut you where they know they're
trying to hurt you. Right. Yeah. I got glasses. I'm fucking 5'11". You know what I'm saying? It's so many things you could talk about. But in the moment, they always want to go there. So for Giselle not to see the grace that these women are giving to her in these moments of emotional tragedy, it's just showing again that she's just miserable. So I just wanted to say that last part. Don't come in the comments talking about my mama, because I'm gonna talk about yours. Thank you. Bye-bye.
To continue this scene, so of course they talk about Grace in college, and then they kind of switch it to Karen and ask her a question, and she basically says that she's not responsible for everybody in the group. She cannot keep everybody on one note. She can't control what they do, and she makes a comment and says, she has seen everyone make faces, and Giselle stops her there and was just like, Karen, no, and Karen's like, no, like, let me finish. And so they kind of talk about the whole thing about Wendy and Candace laughing about Grace when she was talking about her going to college or whatever, or making faces or whatever they said she did. And Candace talks that Giselle is once again weaponizing her kids for the show. Wendy says that she actually congratulated Giselle and Grace on going to college, and was talking about her being an AKA, that Wendy and Giselle are sorority sisters. And so Giselle says that never
probably ain't active.
I bet she ain't pay her dues. Well, she probably has, because Grace is in school, because she want to be able to write that recommendation.
That is how it works. Okay. But Giselle says it never happened. Wendy and Candace are looking for some footage, but they don't have any footage or anything like that. And they just like, dang it never happened. And Giselle is like, well, if they don't have footage, it didn't happen. I'm like, okay, but we just got footage of you saying some stuff last week, and you still act like it didn't happen, but eventually you came forward. But hey, neither here nor there. The line is always moving, as somebody once said. And so they start talking about Jason, and honestly, I tuned out because I don't care about Jason. Jason is like a non-factor. He's not even real in terms of that relationship is not real. There's a story about him kissing a mystery blonde woman. I said, damn, is that supposed to be Karen too? The last blonde woman.
You got a mold, man.
I'm like, child, what's up with these blonde women, these mystery blonde women in DC? I was in Georgetown the weekend. I was like, am I a blonde woman? Am I gonna see one? I don't know.
You should have put your blonde wig on from your wig brunch that time.
Holy smokes.
In the closet, but I should have put it on. And so then they asked Robyn her thoughts on Jason, and she kind of responds a little weirdly. She's like, well, she hasn't dogged one. I'm like, well, do you feel like that, people feel like you've dogged her? I'm trying to figure like, why does it gotta be a dog? I think even Andy was like, I'm not talking about dog. Like, what are your thoughts? I'm like, okay, that was interesting. But Nneka, she wants a moment to speak because she hasn't said much of anything, have anything to talk about. He pretty much asks Giselle, like, are they open? Like, do y'all see other people? And Mia was like, oh yeah. And then Giselle's like, Mia. I'm like, Mia, I mean, is this true? Is this a lie? We don't know. The scene wraps up right here where she talks about her and Jamal, how she wanted to grow old with him, but it didn't work out. And she never thought that she would be here. From 30 years old, she didn't think she would be on this platform. Any final thoughts about Giselle and her?
You are, girl. You single. You divorced. That's where you at. That's where you at. You're the single, you're divorced, and that's it. You're 50 plus.
Honey,
bye.
The thing I find most annoying is, even down to when Robyn and Giselle were doing it, let Andy, Nneka, you're not moderating. You're not hosting the reading. Let this man ask his questions. I know he misses a lot of stuff, but I don't want to hear the housewives ask no questions if it's not pertaining to them. Because sometimes those questions feel like a setup, like to try to put you in a better position. Like, I feel like that question was set up by Nneka to ask Giselle because it wasn't you put out there like that to try to help her, to say, girl, y'all open, like say something to make you look like, shut up, you're not even there.
Nneka asked several stupid questions. I get it. She was on the end. She was like watching the show just like we watching the show now. What Mia told her. She just wasn't. She was trying to find some type of footing to like insert herself into the conversation when she just should have sat there and looked ashy like Ashley did. She should have just sat there. Because the questions that she was asking were not good. Don't believe anything about this Giselle and Jason situation, because this is my thing. If I'm traveling to New York to see somebody and they traveling to where I live to see me, that means we pretty serious. And her and Jason been doing this thing. They filmed last year, so it's been at least a year. My best friend's gonna be done met this person. You mean to tell me that Jason living in the phone too? Robyn only done talked to him on FaceTime, and she know that they seem to have fun because she seen them on FaceTime together. That is stupid. And if you at the house and y'all having a friend moment, why is she on her FaceTime with her whatever he is? Chilling. I don't believe that. Giselle, to me, as we all know, she's a very attractive woman, but she gives me like the attractive dude that will, he's attractive, but he will lie on his penis and say he just hitting all these fine women, but he ain't hitting nobody. That's Giselle. She lying on her coochie. She got all these men. They take her down whenever she want, and it's not happening. Like, not to say that she can't get a man, but she does not have one.
She can't.
And then Robyn,
I don't think she's just as out there free dating as she would like. No, she's not. I don't.
Racist man.
Yeah, and if Robyn saw him on FaceTime, it was a 3-way call. It wasn't at Giselle's house.
Say it again.
Well, I'm just glad that somebody actually answer Robyn's FaceTime, because we know Juan clearly don't. He don't answer on the camera. So hey,
and
maybe
they did that Bob too, hung right on up on her ass. Never mind. Giselle is a beautiful woman.
To you.
You see this light-skinned man done said that to you like that? Please make sure you say
I do like that. I do like that Andy was basically bringing some attention to Giselle showing no emotion. And I think he was trying to make it seem like she showed emotion, but even in this whole moment, she didn't. I mean, I'm not saying she's supposed to be all emotional, because this is a while ago when her dad passed, but these were 3 things that are like, we seem to be wrapped in our emotion about, our children, our family, and our relationships. And we saw her in the episode show, but I like that he was trying to say that she's not emotional, but I also don't like that he was trying to act like she showed it, because she did not show it.
Every time I'm talking right now about my mom, and I have to say this,
it'll still get you.
And it was still like I have to just move on. My mom died in 2011, so if that freshness and that news, I'm not saying that she should be breaking down using a triangle or anything like that, but I have to be mindful. This is the late hunt. We kick king, we shooting the shit. But at the same time, if I talk too long about my mom, I break down. And there is a level of hardness with Giselle that has nothing to do with Candace, Wendy, none of that. That's just her trauma. But she's just as, if not worse than Robyn. She's not transparent at all. We don't know who Giselle is outside of a Creole woman with green eyes. They used to be married to.
And you're right, Jasmine, because about that level of hardness, because even a clip recently resurfaced on Twitter from a few reunions ago where she says she had to go to therapy to try to learn empathy from towards other people and stuff. It ain't work because I think she went one session, obviously, just the intro.
Now she got the little Groupon deal. It was just like a session.
Groupon.
But I would have rather her have been too choked up to even talk and not even address it. This would have been the one time I would have been like, I can't do it, and just move on. But I feel like she's afraid to show weakness in front of these other girls because she thinks she's at HBIC.
Well, no, I think she don't want to show weakness because she knows that it can be used against her because she's done shitty things to people in the group. I think that's her defense mechanism.
It's so much against to use
a lot of it is that she will not open up and show things because she knows that it will be used against her in some kind of way because she has done really something to everybody on the stage. So it's just like, they're gonna. I'm just saying. I mean, so in a way, she's smart, but it's just not great for TV, and it's just time for it to kind of leave the screen. In my opinion. Make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. It is 170 of y'all up in this thing. Partying on a Tuesday. I saw somebody say we're supposed to start at 7:30. Yes, we started at 7:30 Eastern today because we just did something different as our show would usually be on Monday. So I think that was who said that? Whoever it was, I can't even see it no more. But my bad. We on now. You can always go back and watch the previous.
We on now.
We on now. You can go back and watch the 45 minutes before. But we got some really good content coming anyway right now, especially with this last little part. All right, so this segment was about Candace. So Candace, we know her season when she was kind of pretty much at it with Robyn. In this part, we find out that she had a lump scare in her breast, but she found out that it was nothing. So she encourages everyone to make sure you get checked out. We find out that they talk about the drama with Drew, and honestly, I thought there was nothing there, but apparently it was. It seems like maybe someone from Drew's camp or someone kind of like tried to utilize somebody from Candace's camp without letting her know. That's kind of what I got from it. But I didn't know anything about that. That was interesting to hear. But I don't think there's any bad blood from that. The lawsuit was dropped, which is so fun. When I think about that, I think about that post, Jasmine, with that person. You remember that post I had made about where the person was like that they thought I was lying about it being dropped?
Oh, yes. Brought it up.
From that person since. They ain't replied back. I'll just say that. And so then there's a comment about Ashley, because we always say that she knew. I still feel like she knew. I will mama die for once. I think she knew. But Candace says she don't think that she knew. And I like the question from the fan was saying that she knew all the details and needed the money for the lawsuit. And I'm like, you know what? That might be onto something. I don't know. I don't know. But she says no. So then they talk about Candace and Robyn's friendship. And so Giselle comes in, and basically it's the fact that they were still good friends despite her friendship with Giselle. Giselle says that no one supported Candace like her during the Monique situation in season 5. Candace says actually Robyn was way more supportive. Yes, Giselle did support her, but it was really Robyn who really called and checked on her. And I honestly believe that. Like I always say, Candace and Robyn were true friends. And I think even Andy kind of highlighted that too. So they asked Robyn a question about does she feel like Candace is coming for her job? And so Candace goes down a timeline where I guess after the reunion, where she commented on her hair, and Robyn replies saying that She thank you, but it probably makes me look like a white woman or what she say?
White adjacent
White
woman.
A white
adjacent.
woman.
Oh,
Probably.
I'm about to get mad. I'm sorry.
Right. So then Candace says, are you mad at me? There's no response from Robyn. And so then afterwards all the stuff comes out and then Candace replies messages her again. It's just like, I'm sorry this is happening to you and your family, blah, blah, blah. There's no response then too. And so she apologized to Robyn for hurting her. And then Robyn comes out and says that the reason why that she did not respond is because it was so uncomfortable and she had never experienced anything as like that in her life as to being insinuated as to being a colorist. She says that it was just the worst thing ever. Like she just didn't know what to do and say. And I just was so confused because I really thought that accusation was more on Giselle. But hey, whatever. You know, they are they hello. I'm like they are joining at the hips, right? So Candace, so they talk about the colorism thing, and Candace says, "Well, you know, honestly, I grew up in a home where we can talk about these things, so I didn't know that it would be an issue." And they show a clip of her from I think last year where she did say that she didn't think that they were colorists, but she feels like the conversation needs to be had. And so, you know, Giselle says that she doesn't have an issue talking about it. She'd have been at HBCU. She's in a black sorority. She's the black of them all. So this should be nothing for her to talk about it. And so Wendy takes the floor and basically says this is the very same thing as you accusing someone of being racist. And kind of talks on that. Andy agrees. Andy's like, "Yep." I'm like, Andy, what the hell? He was so loud. He was like, "Yeah." But she sums it up by saying that not everybody has the range to have the conversation. And so NECA, who acts like she's not a fan, has never watched this show, she says, "Okay, now what was the reason why y'all were called colorists?" And I said, "You are a problem. You need to go." Clearly, because she's a huge problem. Because I know she watched this show. And Candace just kind of ends this scene by telling Robyn that if this is something to fall out for after all you've been through for 8 seasons, Robyn, then I guess that's just it. So, Jasmine, you go.
What? Oh my God. Oh, hold on. I was taken aback by that one, honey. Oh gosh. Let me just say this. Robyn is a white woman, period. She was crying like a Karen that was just being told that she had racial bias and she doesn't want to be considered racist, even though she has proven to have those biases. Like, I'm really so sick of talking about this color of stuff because to me, it's just people being severely obtuse. Or like, I think that the fact that they don't want to even have this conversation or she wants to cry, I've never been called that. Yes, you're an Anglo-Saxon. You have. You're telling me at the age of almost 72 that you've never been called or have been considered? Like, I get it. You've been to a HBCU. You're in a black sorority. Both of them. Robyn's a Delta. Giselle's an AKA. We get it. Correct. But at the same time, that does not negate everything that has been shown here. Even if you don't feel like you're a colorist, because Candace actually said that last season, and I had to make sure, and I was like, okay, she did say that. But it's just the fact that you're trying to ignore all the fans and everything for the last 8 seasons that has contributed to this thing of colorists. So you're saying that you don't get treated better. You're just saying that you can say the most vile things and you can be said to be the face of the show, but Candace is vile. She's nasty. She's a cunt. She's rude. She's disgusting because she defends herself in a way that you can't handle. Giselle and Robyn are losers. And that's it. I'm so sick of having this colorist conversation because I'm so sick of looking like the aggressive, angry, dark-skinned woman. Honey, I am beautiful. Okay, I don't have to be
in every single way.
In every single way, I don't have to be jealous. I think I have women in my family. My mama looked like Giselle. My mother looked like Giselle, a Creole woman, red bone, honey, black hair, red lips. It didn't matter, but it's just the fact that people are so obtuse when it comes to these matters. And Robyn wants to sit there and cry. She hasn't cried about. She ain't even cried about Juan, honey. He's a cheater. don't get what I do not get why Robyn is sitting here crying with this chopped cheese wig and Giselle sitting up here acting as though like all this shit just came out of nowhere. Robyn is mad about something that had nothing to do with her. Oh, maybe I look white adjacent. That's probably that must not be a good thing. Robyn's wanted to start a fight and she got one. And those leather. Oh gosh, calm down, Jasmine. It's okay. I am so sick of it. I don't want to talk about it no more. Honey, dark skin, light skin, whatever, you know what's right and what's wrong. Robyn had no reason to be mad at Candace. She wanted to start this argument. She wanted to be mad and she got it. So she cries like somebody on 90210 or something like that. I can't. I'm just
Tori Spelling.
It just gave actress. They want to talk about Candace crying fake, but Robyn's sitting there crying like that, but she hasn't shed one tear about Juan being in the hotel, Juan being at the the laundromat, Juan being at the nail shop, Juan not being at the reunion. Nothing bothers her besides Candace, you know, not checking in on her. Girl, bye. I'm sick of it. It's cringy. Your wig is a mess. Giselle's, your neck is a mess. Grace is with Josh. Jamal never wanted you for real. I don't know. I just want to I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Daddy.
So Robyn's saying she had never been called anything so, you know, that vile or disgusting. That's a damn lie, because I know Juan called her worse in that house. That man almost sped off while her arm was still in the car. So I know she's reasons to cry. And she was sitting there crying with that "can I speak to your manager" wig on, and that's exactly what I wanted her to. I thought she was going to tell Andy, "Can I speak to your manager?" Because and then Nneka inserting herself in there. Nneka reminded me in that moment of the token black person that is friends with white people, and the white people use that person to say, "I can't be racist. This is my friend."
Right.
That's what Nneka reminded me of in that moment. So again, I don't know if they have it out for Candace or what, but even them showing the clip of her saying, you know, that of Andy saying she doesn't think you're all colorist, she just says it's, you know, about a discussion needs to be had. It still didn't help. Them ladies' minds are made up. That side of the sofa, Nneka included, obviously, and it was aimed at Giselle, because if Ashley didn't get offended when it was brought up, Mia didn't get offended when it was brought up, and they are light brights too. Ashley actually acknowledged that it takes that colorism is a real thing, but Robyn and Giselle can't, and it was aimed at Giselle, but Robyn got offended. I don't know if they twins where one feels pain, the other cries. I don't know, but like Jasmine, I'm just sick of them hoes.
I'm sick of the colorist thing. Like, you know, you have brown kids. It's for her not to even want to soak this in enough to even help them out, because they ain't looking, they not that close to a banana. They more the cinnamon. I'm sorry. Sorry.
No, I'm glad Danny actually brought that up, because I was gonna say it was odd to me that Robyn felt hit by, you know, when Candace and Giselle were having their discussion last season. But Ashley, whose dad is white, and Mia, and they're both just as light or lighter than Robyn and Giselle, as well as Karen, none of them felt hit in that moment. So for her to be so hurt and she got to make her bottom lip tremble and all of that, it was crazy. I thought with Nneka bringing up or asking a question about, maybe you guys should ask why they think your color. I think it was her again trying to insert herself,
trying to help them out.
She was piggybacking off of what Wendy had said about, you know, people want to talk about, you know, the phenomenon, but don't want to talk about why the phenomenon exists, right, in relation to, you know, Robyn them being so offended that they were called, you know, that they were being called that online, but they never took the time to kind of figure out why that was being said. So it seemed like Nneka was just trying to get her a little 2 cents in there or whatever.
She made that comment a couple of times, Antonio. She made a comment again at some point where she was just like, we skipping steps, and it kind of took back to what Wendy was saying. I don't know if it was true in that moment, but it was a moment in this reading where she said, like, let's not skip. It was basically repeating what Wendy said to her Remember when they had their issue?
And she accused Wendy
okay.
of repeating everything she said at pickleball, but now she's doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully she's gone as well. Yeah, and I do agree with now, like I said, I get that, you know, they were talking about everybody being accountable and transparent and stuff like that, which, you know, I think a lot of those women have this reunion. But and when Candace told Robyn, like, if that's what's going to end our friendship, like, and worse has been done to you, which is crazy. Ashley, you know, has said and done some horrible things. Some of the women, they have all really dogged Karen, and she still kind of shows up. So you mean to tell me that somebody you called your friend, I get that you were upset in the moment and some things were said, but it's so bad to where you can't even try to attempt to move past the situation is what's crazy to me, which I think is still, you know, the plan from maybe before they even started filming. Giselle and Robyn felt like they were gonna team up and they were gonna push, you know, Candace and Wendy out. That's what I think, and I think that they were gonna stick to it and keep trying even throughout the reunion. So
we had a couple of super chats. I'm gonna mention those really quickly, but I did want to say something really quickly. I guess the one thing about this and my thoughts on this was that it feels like we were kind of robbed of, because this could have came out earlier. Why wasn't this mentioned earlier? Both of them were acting like this, like on one end, whereas I love Candace, it was almost like she just felt like she should have been more open, right? And then Robyn is just like, how could you do that? You're supposed to be my friend. But if you go back to the text messages, Robyn clearly had already felt a way about Candace, and Candace clearly was like, well, since we ain't friends no more, I'm just gonna say what I want to say. But on the show, you wouldn't have got that. You would have really thought like, okay, what the hell is going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? But this, I mean, I guess after a reunion, I get it, but this should have came out sooner. I don't know. Like, it just was like, now y'all talking about this? Like, this, because clearly we see that whatever the reason was, whether Robyn really felt that way, was lying or not, she clearly felt a way about Candace, and they were not in the best space. That she was trying.
Though, are you mad at me? Candace,
well, I mean, but you know what? When you ask somebody, sometimes, are you mad at me? You kind of already know. And I feel like,
I think that's the opportunity for the other.
But no, and I get it. I think from her defense, Robyn had the opportunity to say how she felt. This could have been talked about on the show, and they might have still been friends. But clearly, there's more to that, and I do believe that a little bit of Robyn was really trying to align herself with Giselle, because if that was really your friend, you would have just said that. Like, that didn't kill you that she said, because it didn't. Robyn had no reaction when she made that right looking ass comment. The only person that had a reaction was Mia and Ashley. I remember. Robyn sat there and didn't say anything, so that's just crazy to me.
She was right next to
yeah, really quickly. Go ahead,
I did want to say one thing. I'm gonna say it very, very calmly so it doesn't get overlooked. But I still want to make I want to agree with Danny and Antonio. But the point that Wendy made, I think it was, you know, pointed, but it's really not being digested, because you can go into situations and say something without having malice or intent behind it. But if someone says you offended them, how you react to that shows how you're going to move forward. I've been called everything under the sun, you know what I'm saying, without having that intent. But it's like she said, why did we feel that way? How did we get to this moment? The fact that they just never want to take accountability for how we got to this moment, or how my fans treat you. Giselle wants to say that, oh, your fan, you know, I'm getting death threats. But over the last how many seasons Candace has been on there? 6, 7, whatever seasons. She's gotten the same thing, and from her fans calling her jealous, calling her a monster, calling her vile, calling her whatever they call dark-skinned women. Especially, please, you guys, look at these comments whenever me and Asia are dropping off of these things, because of our hard, or not even hard, because of our confidence, or however you might want to take it. We just look differently. And for Giselle or Robyn being in these Black organizations, especially Delta, especially AKA, especially these D9 organizations, and having these variety of colors, these different diverse people in your line, and not acting like you know how these things have been portrayed, it's just what makes me sick. I can understand that these women are mothers, and you know they're from what we see they're good mothers. But at the same time, you cannot say that you're being open and transparent with your kids or even with the viewers if you're not going to acknowledge these things. And Giselle is too smart. Robyn is too smart for them to be acting plumb dumb. And that's what I'm it for it.
And I'm
Ooh,
glad that Wendy kind of got Karen also, because
yes.
clearly they're not the best group to talk about colorism. When Robyn was crying and couldn't say the word out of her mouth because her bottom lip was trembling so bad. So clearly they're not the best group to discuss that. And so I'm glad that Wendy did speak up in that moment. I love me some Karen, but
Yes, me too.
I'm definitely, team in
Clark.
that
And,
moment.
and Karen, she stopped. She just stopped and was just listening.
Yes.
Like I feel like that's to be appreciated. It's, just like we talked about with in Miami, how what's her name? Lisa? Like they was telling her, like, Lisa, just stop and just listen. Like sometimes that's all you have to do. And that within itself, I feel like says enough. It allows someone to get their point across, because I mean they're not on the receiving end of it in terms of what they may be experiencing. So I think that was important. I like that Karen did that, to be honest, because she could have been like, "Oh no, where the hell? No, I'm the grand dame," but she didn't do that. All right, really quickly, we got a couple of super chats I wanted to mention. Some from SD Mac. There were actually two, saying Giselle is the most sensitive. That is why she can't get over slights and insults. Love how Chris handled the witches of Potomac. Mama Dot knows what's up. We're gonna talk about Chris in a minute. That's the next and last part too. But yeah, Giselle is very sensitive until she's on the other end, and then it's okay to laugh, right?
Right.
And the other super chat from SD Mac is Robyn and Giselle brought the issue of blackness on season 1. NECA from Colombia, Africa, acting up to I can't. They did. There are a lot of comments I've seen in here outside about this situation with Giselle and Katie and Ashley. And so if you've been watching this show from like season 1, like the real fans, not the ones that came because of the fight, you would know how this show used to be. I'm just saying. Because a lot of fans did come when the fight came. Let's just be honest. A lot of y'all weren't here from season 1. Y'all may have went back and watched it, but you weren't here when we was, shooting in the gym and talking about what was it? Sitting in the birthday seat.
Okay. Oh, being and
But we were glad everyone is here. So yeah, I would say go back and watch those earlier seasons. 1, I think it was, is where this was an issue for sure.
Yeah.
Another super
Zeta, thank you, Zeta. Thank you.
What was it do?
She just gave me some love, honey.
Oh, I didn't see. I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm in the other comment section. My bad. From Kylie says, wasn't it Robyn and Giselle arguing with Katie about her being black enough in season 1? Exactly. Yeah.
Right. But she's biracial though, so I didn't even really. Her dad is white and her mom's black, right? Katie.
Yeah,
Katie?
her dad's white. Her
dad's white. Mom black. Yeah. So, I mean.
But if I remember correctly, they were trying to tell her that it was almost like she wasn't black enough or something.
Right. And Robyn is 75% Anglo-Saxon.
78.
Okay, and the last one from Love. What's going on, Love? Robyn being comfortable to tears on a comfortable topic she helped bring up season 1 is deplorable and embarrassing. Let's ask Katie. Timelines matter. I know that's right. Y'all better come on with these old school comments and what happened.
Baby.
Thank you, Love, Callie, and SD Mac for the super chats today. We really appreciate it, y'all. Okay. All right. So the last segment of this thing here. So the husbands are coming in. Chris walks right past Giselle, as I would have as well. I feel like all the husbands should have walked past. I wouldn't have even hugged her, because I would not want her saying that they drug her into a room again. Thank God. I just want that. And then we see an interesting exchange between NECA and Ike. They kind of like at odds, and I'm just gonna say this.
Yeah.
One reason why, I don't care for NECA, right? Her storyline this season was the shrine, and it was the baby. I don't care about anything about NECA because I don't know NECA. But what I do know about NECA, that her and her husband are newlyweds and they have no chemistry. They're always at odds, and I worry about her. Because I'm sure she won't be back next season. So off camera, I just worry about her, and I think we'll hear more about her in a year or so.
Well, I'm glad you worry, because I don't worry about her.
I ain't worried about her. I bet they have.
I'm worried about her in the sense of just because clearly she wants to be married. But that marriage, just seeing them argue backstage about who's gonna come out and who's gonna say what and how. She's like, you're not making me look good or something like that. I'm like, y'all
She
are
was like,
still.
you're here to support me, or you can go
wherever Juan is. I cackled. I ain't gonna lie about that.
They probably
but I
Dr.
was like, I
Alicia
want to
husband.
catch that.
They are very.
I said words.
I hate.
Make sure to
if
get
she ain't gonna cuss
out
the person that did that Bob, then she better not say nothing in that. That's it.
Telling her
what
to get her words out because if not, he was gonna jump in.
Yeah, I'm glad they left it in too.
I mean, Nick had a French roll.
I don't know. I do think it's something.
For a newlywed couple.
It's something sexy about it. I don't like the way she talks to him, but it's something sexy about them a little bit.
So did you hear that scene when they was in the bathroom trying to ejaculate and she was like, hurry up, get it out. That's sexy.
I didn't hear her say hurry up and get it out. Maybe it's me.
There's nothing appealing about that couple. I'm sorry. And I'm single, but I would rather stay single than deal with that. I'm just saying. Because they are not it. And I agree. It feels so that their relationship, and I'm gonna move on in a second. They didn't live together. They're just now living together for the first time.
Oh, that's
okay. Right. And they only been married for like a year or two, maybe, but they operate and they're trying to have a child. So all of this mixed with what we're seeing on TV, it's just not appealing to me. I'll just leave it at that.
Because he works on the West Coast, right?
He's a traveling nurse. He works everywhere. He's a traveling doctor. He works.
I ain't gonna even say Nick is mean to her husband. Because let me tell you something. I'm turning 36 next week, you guys. I don't know if I told you guys. My birthday's next Saturday, but I am getting up in age, and I just recently lived with my man or whatever, and I might act like Nick too a little bit, and I just. I don't know.
This offline, please.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry about that, you guys.
Say this to the chat.
Okay. All right. So, right, because listen, at the cabin chat, there's somebody that would love to hear all about that. Because I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep. Antonio had to tuck me out. I said, "Chat, I'm going to bed. I'm not listening."
I want to sleep too.
I'm weak. All right, so this last segment here. So the husbands join, and they basically start out by asking Chris, "Why hasn't he been around?" I'm just like, is there really? I mean, I get it. He got to ask the questions, but do we not know the answer to this? I mean, is it not obvious? And so he's asked, some questions. He specifically asked, does he believe that Robyn was in on the plot, to come at him last season from Giselle? And he says he doesn't want to speak on it. He talked about it last season. It's dead. He would rather not speak on anything related to that. Then they asked him about the woman accusing him of the affair. He says he's never met that woman in his life, and this woman on the other side of the couch speaks up, and she says, so the screenshots, so they were photoshopped. Like, I'm gonna say it again, I never met this woman in my life. And she's like, so I mean, they screenshot, and he's like, I'm gonna say it again, I've never met this woman in my life. And so Candace kind of speaks, and it's just like, listen, when the stuff came out, she didn't want to believe it was Giselle, but she don't put anything past her. Giselle says, well, my name was clear. The lady said, the lady said it was not for me. And I'm like, that sounds like it would be like you would be, maybe you put her up to do it. That didn't make it.
Giselle directed her to say that.
It sounds like maybe she, and I wasn't thinking that. Like, right, I wasn't thinking that. I'm like, well, hell, maybe Giselle was. And so Chris says, well, honestly, Giselle, if you felt the way you felt a couple years ago, Candace can feel the way that she feels now. So I just let her feel how she feels, and that's just what it's gonna be. I saw somebody online say about a white man raising his voice at a black woman. I didn't see him raise his voice at all. He didn't even want to talk to anybody.
He was firm and direct.
But just what are y'all thoughts? I thought this part was like so disgusting, to be honest. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was Candace, I would have flat out cussed and probably threw my heel at Robyn, because she is like so out of line in this moment. It's one thing to say something, to start out by saying to give your opinion, say anything, right? But then you keep going. He's constantly saying he don't want to talk about it. So now you're like baiting him. You are provoking. Remember she said that Wendy was provoking Mia. You're provoking this man to whatever reaction may come out. And I just feel like it's just crazy. While her man is not even sitting behind her. That's just
No.
she's like a walking contradiction.
He's probably in Florida right now.
No, but the thing is, I think every time there's been a marriage rumor on this show, Robyn always believes it. And I think she always believes it because the rumors about her marriage are always true. So I think that's why she thinks they're always true about everybody else. And I also think she was doing it to antagonize Candace on purpose. That's what I really think she was doing.
Yeah.
I just think that I'm just glad because I don't have any. I think I made this like Robyn more than I dislike Giselle. Honestly, I really do, because I guess it's because I'm sitting there looking at someone whose relationship in life is like at the pits. You know, maybe she's somewhat happy somewhere with Glow 30, but her relationship and the way that her spouse has made her look, I wouldn't say anything about anybody's relationship. Like I just wouldn't. But she still feels like she can say something. And that's why I think she's warranted for a reaction, not from Chris. But like I said, I would just through my heel. I would just pop, I don't know, because she's so disrespectful, actually. She really is.
Yeah, and asking about a penis was even worse to me.
Yeah,
all of it. Like she's so invested in this. Like that is just out of line. I don't think that's crazy. But what do y'all think?
I don't think she's that invested. I think it was more so of here's my chance to kind of get my lick back since they had so much. Exactly, like a gotcha moment. Okay, now they had so much to say about Juan and what he did off camera. Let's talk about Chris and what he did off camera. It was crazy that, they were like, well, okay, well, she said I did, and she said I didn't do it. And they're like, well, then she said she did it again. Okay, well, clearly the girl has no credibility, as Gordon said. But then, Giselle, you want us to just believe that, just because she said you didn't put up to do it, that we're supposed to believe that. That was crazy to me. I also feel in this moment that, to me, it just seemed like there had been a conversation between Chris and Candace, Candace had already made up her mind that even if she got the offer, she was not coming back. That's just what I believe, because there was even at one point previously when Giselle was like, get out of here, and Candace was like, I'm out. It was just kind of like a point of, I'm not going to keep doing this. I'm tired of it. It's not going anywhere. Andy's not even holding Giselle accountable, as we can see. Chris pointed that out because he was definitely talking to Andy when he made that final comment about, people can say I said the wrong words and we're just being okay, but y'all want Candace nailed to the cross because of the words that she has said. So I think in this very moment, they was just kind of like, and that's why I think Chris was so direct with what he was saying. We can move the fuck on. We don't even got to talk about it no more. Yeah. And I'm glad that he said that. And they deserved some discipline. They actually deserved a little bit more. They did. They deserved a little bit more, but hey, they at that point it was just kind of like, child, we not gonna get anywhere with them, so I'm not really gonna give them anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If Robyn didn't have nothing to say about that hairstylist that put those tiger stripes in her hair that reunion, if she didn't have nothing to say about it, I don't know. If she didn't have nothing to say about this bob that looked like chopped cheese or this pantsuit, then I don't think that she should have anybody. She has no room to ask any husband. That is including G, Michael Darby. She has zero room to ask anybody about the husband, and then asking about their penis. Have you seen it? Why is she so stuck on this penis picture as if she knows what his penis looks like? And I mean, Robyn just has a lot of nerve. And it goes back to when Candace says you always want people to talk about their life and you want to keep yours in the closet or get somebody to pay for the tea. And her, of course, she's oblivious to the things she's doing, and she's doing it right on stage. You keep asking this man about his penis and how many times he got to say he don't know that woman. But when Juan says it, he just got to say it one time and you believe him off the top. This man deletes every message in his phone after he receives it. He gets it, deletes, and he does not. She does not ask him anything. but she's wondering about someone else's husband. Candace showed way more restraint than I would have, honey, because I would have grabbed her by every split end of that bob and dragged her down the street with Rashida. Thank you.
Rashida.
And it was probably Deborah friend who did it. That's probably Deborah friend.
Thank you.
Betty.
No, I said that lady who did all that was probably friends with Deborah with Sesame Street.
Oh, the lady that was putting all that stuff out? Probably so.
Don't say it was me. Say
It's
exactly.
just they kept talking about like how like she had no credibility and things like that. This is not the first time. They mentioned this earlier. So I guess the first reaction that she got in part 1 wasn't enough. So now that he's out there, she should, after the first reaction, when even Andy was like, it came out as not being true and blah, 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 she should have left it alone. But I guess because they got this podcast on Patreon, they feel like they got to be journalists and follow up on. Like, there's nothing to follow up on. It is what it is. No one. The thing about Juan is that people crack jokes at Juan, but nobody. Candace has not really said anything to drag Juan. I mean, everything has been really at Robyn and different. She's never said anything about him being in Georgetown. Like, she's never been anything like that. So, if anything, if you're gonna do that to somebody, then do it to Karen or do it to somebody. Maybe even Wendy had cracked a joke here and there, but Candace has never done it. I don't recall seeing that unless I missed something. I don't think she ever has.
Why you bring that up? Karen has torn Robyn up every single season, and yet Robyn can't move on with Candace, but she's still willing to try with Karen. That's just crazy to me because Karen has never taken her foot off Robyn's neck.
She ain't gonna never win with Karen though. It would behoove her to leave her alone. Honestly, it really would. But yeah. Okay, so that was pretty much the end. The last little piece before it went off was just they talked about how the husbands feel about about Juan not being there. The husbands all say no comment. Gordon wants to say something, but he's just like, I'm just not gonna do that. I don't want to be seen as being shady. Because basically the question is like, why is it important to be able to support their wives? I feel like that was a whole slap in Robyn's face, but she didn't care because she feels like she's being supported from whatever couch he's on, whoever couch he's on. She feels like she's being supported. And so, I like how Gordon was like, well, I would always support, but my now ex-wife, and they like, wait, y'all ain't divorced yet. He like, baby, we about to be. And so he goes in his little spiel about how he's excited to be there, and he talks about something that he hasn't shared, and that's where the episode goes off. So next week will be to be continued. We know that Kiana will be there next week. We don't have a preview. I haven't seen any clips, so I guess we'll see what it's going to be about. But any final thoughts from you all before I turn it over to any callers for today regarding part 2 of the reunion?
What y'all think G is gonna say? Because I think it's about his health. Because that man looked like he has. You think he's
sick? They were black, weren't they?
Yeah, and he was red. I mean, it could have been from being emotional, maybe, or something like that. He looked like something was going on. I hate that. I like G, but
I like
G.
But I don't like. I think that he definitely financially abused her and emotionally,
and locked her in the
room. That's abusive. Sorry.
Yeah. I can see that.
I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at something else over here. Not that.
Oh, okay, my bad. Because I was laughing at that a little bit. I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing. I was kind of.
Did Mia deserve that discipline, Antonio?
No.
I don't think anybody, even Giselle, deserves to be locked in a room.
In those cabin rooms, she can still breathe.
And she didn't deserve to have her
I don't think so.
It's not the money.
No, they don't deserve to be. I don't care what, abuse is abuse. So
right.
You won't fair,
go
to carnival. Okay.
I'm not going to go to carnival. I want fair. Okay. I do want fair.
I don't want none of them.
I'm gonna just play fair by the
ate her up with that line. That was hilarious. Right. You want fair? Go to a carnival.
You ain't that sick. No, that was a while ago. Sorry.
All right, y'all. We got 2 callers in the queue. Let them on so we can get out of here. We have 1 more of these next week. It's going to be on Monday. We're going to stick to the same time unless we decide, just stay tuned to the channel. I like that you guys have been. I try to make posts anyway on the YouTube page. So if if you're subscribed and have alerts on, you will see what time. But as of right now, it'll be Monday at 8:30, unless I just happen to get like wasted again. But that's not gonna happen because I'm not even drinking right now. So we'll be here for the final show.
Love a Jersey
It's been fun, but I am ready for this season to end. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I'm also not looking forward to Jersey because I think Jersey is gonna be even more toxic. Just based off the dynamics, I'm kind of like worried. So, all right, I'll call it. First caller for today is going to be Kyra. Hey, Kyra, how are you?
I'm good. Hello, Lean Fam. How are y'all today?
We good. What you got for us?
Okay, I'm so happy I could make today. Okay, this Robyn has a lot of caucasity. There's so much caucasity in Robyn, I cannot take it. How is she still here? How does she not have the shame to open up her mouth and say these things? She should be home, rocking, and figuring out what she's going to do with her life because it's abysmal. I do not understand. This woman sat up here and was fake crying about how colorism was so uncomfortable for her. Are we serious? When literally you were raw dogging Ashley and Katie so bad and they had to tell you are biracial, you had to go get a DNA test to say you were 59% in your opinion. And this is what we are doing now, pretending like we don't understand what's going on. And then Giselle sits there and does this list of how she is so Black because Giselle and Robyn, I think to me, and I feel like people kind of like don't understand dynamics sometimes, Giselle and Robyn are the kind of women, it seems to me, the kind of light-skinned Black people to me, where they enjoy the benefits that they get from being in Black spaces. And so, of course, they will take pride in going to HBCU and enjoying a D9 and all this kind of stuff because they know they'll be put on a pedestal. Giselle is sitting here acting like she don't understand nothing about colorism, and her dad's from Louisiana. And she's an AKA during the time where they have to have a whole marketing campaign about how they accept all colors. This is what we're doing. And I do think that for me, I get irritated when Candace says that she doesn't think they're colors, but I also think it's very patty in the sense that, okay, if I say we just need to have a conversation, but I don't believe you guys are colors, can we start there? But y'all won't even take that grace. That someone's going to say, I don't believe you are, but I do think there's an issue here. You can't even do that. To me, that means there's a bigger issue here. You have a large issue. The fact that Robyn took that bullet that was not even for her and then took it to the DMs, and then you wanted to pretend like I feel like production's also dirty. Because production played it like that "Are you mad?" DM text message was about the Juan situation and not a response to that foolishness Robyn texted Candace. If we remember correctly, where were they stuck at? Austin? Mm-hmm. That's what the message looked like to me. Remember? It was a response to Juan and not that you were already trying to figure out a way to separate yourself from Candace. Because I feel like she knew that the Juan situation was about to blow up and how it was going to look. And so she was figuring out a way to distance herself. So this is the fight I'm going to pick with Candace to go ahead and slowly back away. That's what it feels like. But I don't think she realized that Candace would be that pissed off. Which I don't know how. Because Candace was cutting into Giselle last reunion. And I do think she knew that she was not going to be coming on the next season because she is too chillax for me.
Oh, yeah.
Baby girl looks like she took a edible and it zoinked. The way, or...
I need one.
Or it feels like she was at a talking to. Like, it almost also feels like Candace and Wendy got a separate talking to about how it needs to be moved forward. And a lot of that burden was on them to be the ones to move forward, even though the rest of the women weren't going to. Or the women who needed to.
Yeah.
But it is like, why is Andy having a question towards Karen about why she didn't chastise Wendy and Candy? Wendy and Candace about this situation, about the faces.
That's crazy.
Not Wendy.
I talk back. I'm trying to get my points out because I know we got a time limit. All right, don't make fun of me.
No, just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, it just, it feels like production and Andy were sitting there rallying up Giselle's troops because Giselle does need troops. Giselle acts like HBIC, but Giselle doesn't like to move on her own, which is why she tried to recruit Karen for that. And then we follow up with Andy also trying to recruit Karen for chastising them, which was weird to me. Even following up with that whole Mia, why didn't you check on them? I'm sorry. At the reunion, Mia took back her apology, then said she saw Wendy sleeping with Peter and saw a recording of it. And you mean to tell me I'm supposed to turn around and be all up in her business because she cheated on her husband who they were already sleeping with? Like, no.
Yeah.
And Ashley's forgotten. NECA, I don't know what she's doing. It feels like it feels like NECA and what's his name and her husband. It feels like she had been trying to get on the show, and she knew that it would look good to be married, and so she got married a year before.
Their relationship
That's what I'm trying to do.
Their relationship makes Jason and Giselle's relationship look great because they look like they do not like each other. At least Jason almost looked like he liked Giselle and vice versa. But baby,
or was it Grace?
Oh my God,
Jasmine. No, it's at least
we got to come and let you go. Okay,
no problem. Okay, have a nice day, everyone.
Next week's the last show, so we'll have extended time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, our next caller, thank you, Kyra, is going to be Brittany. Hey, Brittany. Brittany, you know what? You was here for that what's it called? That super lean we had 3 years ago, right?
Yes.
You remember how crazy it was up here? I remember.
Brittany.
Yeah, it was.
It was crazy. But yeah,
yes. I'm good. How are you guys?
Hey. Good. I'm trying to push you through, child. One more to go.
Yes.
One more.
We're done.
So once again, I want to start off by thanking all of you for taking us through this season because it's been a lot. But it's so weird how, first of all, I agree with everything that Kai said, just everything. She's always on point. But even the part that bothers me about Robyn is I didn't realize till this episode, Robyn is an entitled brat. Like it didn't sink in, like, because I think we've always said, I know some of you guys have said that, oh, without Giselle, Robyn would be better. But like this episode, I don't even want to see Robyn without Giselle because just the smugness, the entitlement, she has not owned anything, nothing at all. And the part about the colorism conversation that bothered me about Robyn is if you're so upset, why haven't you said anything? You have a podcast. You say you're from HBCUs, you're part of these sororities. Invite a professor from your university onto your podcast to talk about colorism. Release a statement. Do something. Like, how are you going to continue to complain? It's almost like they want Candace and Wendy to save them. Because even when Mia said to, I think, Candace, oh, well, did you say that they're not? It's like, what? That's not her job. If you guys are bothered by the label, then say something. There isn't a platform that Candace is on that they can't get on. They act like Twitter is exclusive to Candace. You guys have Twitter too, so use it. Like, save yourself. Like, no one should be saving you. And with Robyn, it's like, you're lucky to even be here. Like, Kenya Moore was demoted when she got married off camera, and she is 10 times more important to Atlanta than Robyn is to this show. And we can keep going down the list of other people who've gone demoted. Like, I think Portia got demoted after that fight, Phaedra got fired, Cynthia got demoted, Nene said that she got demoted after she walked out of the reunion. But Robyn, you're lucky to even have a full-time job at best. So it's like insane to me because there's a lot to talk about, but these women don't want to talk. I feel like RHAP, they have to be in a union. Like, I have no idea how Robyn still has a job. I forgot Ashley was even still there. She's even more useless. It's just insane. But Wendy was incredible. When the professor comes out of her, like, it's great to watch. With Candace, I get it. She's tired. She's been swinging for 6 seasons now. Right. She's exhausted. So I think that the way that she is, if it does feel like a goodbye tour in a way, because she is taking accountability, that I will give her. Like, the things that she is wrong about, she's apologizing for. And so there's nothing else for them to hold over their head, but just the entitlement of Robyn. I don't know why I didn't see it before now, but she's such a brat. Like, it's just insane.
Absolutely, I agree.
She went out pretty. She came in sad. She's going out sad. So it's just going. She's just going. Most people when they come on these shows, we get it. When they come on these shows, you see like the best and the worst of these women. I think we've always seen the worst of Robyn. I don't think he's ever seen a moment where it was like, you know what, Robyn, that girl, she's
Right.
Nobody can say unless you are.
Umbrella to her neck. She done walked into the kangaroo bar about to throw Ashley across the room. She's a loser.
Yeah.
But she needs the check. That's the thing, because Juan isn't working. So that's what's crazy. Like, you need this money. So why aren't you? I just don't get it. I do not get it.
He had a severance for a year. I thought. I think didn't she say he had a severance for a year? After
I think she said they paid him out his contract.
Okay, for the year. Okay.
And he just sent that to another woman, I'm sure already. So.
All right, Brittany, we got one more caller. Okay, you got anything else for us? We'll let you go.
Just one more week, and thank you guys again. It's tough. This season's been tough. Yeah, thank you guys.
Been with us literally from a long time ago, so we thank you for supporting us too.
Yes.
All right.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Jasmine be disappearing, baby. It's
going to be Sean. You haven't called in for me in a long time. But how you doing?
Look, now it's for me. Okay. Yeah. Hey, everybody.
I'll be quick. I'll be seeing you over there on the happy hour acting the fool. I'll be seeing you.
I'll be quick so y'all can go. First, Mia. Don't nobody owe you nothing to check up on you. You cheated on your husband. You already got a new man. So why is somebody checking on you? And especially for Wendy, you lied and said she slept with Peter. You done assaulted her. You put her out the house. I'm not checking for you. And Candace, Mia was a part of the lying on Chris, saying he was looking at you, but no proof was shown. Whatever, they showed you a lot of grace by not repeating whatever G has said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mia, Wendy, she hit the nail right on the head, because Robyn thinks they're called colorists just because they was arguing with a dark skinned person. She need to go educate herself. And then Andy don't know nothing about it, so Andy is trying to move it along and push it along. You should have had an expert like they did in Love and Hip Hop for y'all all to sit down and discuss, so you know what colorism is. And Giselle should know it. Just watching School Days, you will figure something out. That shows a lot.
Not a jigaboo, Sean. Dang.
And for Robyn, every time she said anything about Chris, everything would have came out of my mouth. No, them pictures was wine penis with Canada Girl. Everything would have been about wine. That would have shut her right up. She wouldn't have said nothing else.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. Giselle is just a hot mess. Thank y'all.
She's a beautiful woman. I said it about 8 times.
I agree everything you said.
Okay, good night.
I lost my man to my daughter too, honestly. But
Jasmine, in this narrative, if that happens, I'm going to come back to this video and be like,
we gonna say we broke it first.
We broke it first, okay? You heard it first, right down here. All right, y'all. Listen, we thank y'all for watching. We have one more show next week. I had this picture where I saw, I think it was like all the current housewives on Potomac. They're like, it was a picture from when they was like young. I wanted to show it because it was. Did y'all see that online today?
Yes,
baby. Mia.
Oh, that wasn't Mia.
Baby, I thought it was Lotto. Is that Lotto? Or I didn't do that.
Not an Anglo-Saxon for real.
If I find it, we'll show it next week. But thank you to our callers, Brittany, Kyra, and Sean. Make sure y'all like this video. You know, we got one more of these. We appreciate all the support. It was 190, almost 200 y'all up in here tonight. So that's really great, especially for it to be the end of the season. That means y'all still rocking with us. We have one more. Real Housewives New Jersey will air, I think, like in beginning of May sometime, right? I believe, but it's gonna take this spot. So on Mondays we'll have our Real Housewives New Jersey reviews featuring the same panel as last year with the rotating chair of all of the panelists. It will be our only show this summer. That means we probably won't be doing New York, Dubai. Y'all probably won't see us outside of New Jersey until Salt Lake City, to be honest. I'm just saying. But follow the page, subscribe, you'll find out, and you go from there. Great show. Again, we love that y'all are watching us. We love that y'all are rocking with us. But please remain respectful in those comments. The after show, we be seeing it. And at this moment, I've always tried to, hold everybody back and be like, like don't. But at this moment, y'all getting kind of reckless. So we're about to start getting reckless too, because it's getting out of hand. Like,
I'm about to talk about your kids.
I'm about to say
something about your kids. Yeah.
This is our square, and you have your square. If you have something you want to say, please call in. We won't jump on you. Just call in and give your opinion. But you save your comments for the end of the show, and then ranting and talking smack about us, baby. That is useless. We don't care. We don't.
Don't care. At least have something on your profile pic too. I mean,
that's true. And one last thing, make sure y'all check out Chase's happy hours. His happy hours on Wednesday. I really enjoy those happy hours. I think a lot of y'all, I see some of y'all in there watching. It's always a really good show. I don't know what the topic's going to be about, but it's usually about whatever has happened that week, including with some Housewives stuff too. So check out his show, No Chaser TV. I believe it's going to be at 7:30 p.m. Time.
I think it's 7 Eastern tomorrow.
I don't know the exact time.
But we're also
I know it's on Wednesday though.
We're gonna also be doing the we're also gonna be doing the finale of Bad and Bougie. Bold and Bougie. I don't know what the hell.
Bad and Bougie. Okay. So they're doing Bold and it's Bold and Bougie. They're doing Bold and Bougie. They're doing Martha's Vineyard, and he has his Wednesday happy hour. So chill. It's at 5:45. Okay, so that's early. Okay, you get over there and you can go to bed right out those chakras. Y'all right on time. I know that's right.
7 o'clock. I'm so
bring your shots. Bring all your stuff.
It's on Wednesdays, y'all. So check that out. We'll see y'all next time. Thank you, Jazz. Thank you, Antonio. Thank you, Danny. And we'll catch y'all next week. Okay. You have a good night.
Split ends.
Bye.